California girls were undeniable.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league and halftime, but kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we're ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll have the speedy Tyrod Taylor calling the shots, the former Virginia Tech Hokie.
And what a performance in his last game. Couple of touchdown passes. That was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yo, 10 interceptions this season and we're only into week 6. Holy Jesus.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Here's Gore. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20.
And he's down. They sack him back right around the 30. Ziggy Ansah in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, doesn't it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
This is brought in by Hardy. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
On 3rd and goal, Taylor. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion.
You gotta be kidding me, bro.
Is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up
God,
the first
bro.
down.
We would have got that.
It didn't happen. I know coaches always tell us that they make decisions about these types of plays, this type of a fake, earlier in the week to take the emotion out of the deal. I don't know that was really true here. This one felt like all of a sudden, hey, I got the feeling about let's go ahead and get it, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I know one thing. They wish they had it back.
Yeah, they certainly do, but the buck stops with the head coach on that one. He has to green light that attempt. And that's frustrating for a defense.
Sack Matthew Stafford right now.
Down deep, and on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect.
I had a fucking heel, bro.
3 to 4 yards on first down.
Hot
That's what they
garbage.
talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target,
we gotta start
ahead of
playing cover,
schedule. They
'cause they're
were
gonna
after
throw.
that run.
If they don't throw, they are
That played to his
bugging.
resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Now blown. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. On 1st down, it's Taylor. Complete over the middle to Hardy. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. The starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the 1st down. Drive 1 is that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB2, let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, Taylor. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hardy. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Detroit. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And this is one of those something's got to give games. You got the number 1 passing team in the NFL against the number 1 defense against the pass. A lot of times the battle's in the trenches. We know that. We see it all the time. But this one, this game's going to be won on the outside.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a 1st. From the gun, it's Taylor. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a 1st.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a...
My God, offensive line, bro.
Right around the 30. Sean Robinson breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decided.
Let's fucking go.
Dolphins touchdown.
Julio Jones.
Julio Jones. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense.
Oh, he lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this, where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Holding offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
The NFL on EA Sports.
No, it's not funny.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
All right.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense.
That was outside. That's fine.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So after the penalty, they're back to where they started, 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Dolphin football. Now the quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, is our focus here in this player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sean Robinson in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
God,
the amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Taylor. Flush to his right.
You got to be
looking
fucking
for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. If that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, he's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time. And
the quarterback has 11 interceptions this season. That is sad.
Blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
We are blitzing this.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And that's going to be incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones.
Why do you gotta go when everyone comes upstairs?
And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
From midfield now, here's Taylor. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Taylor now. Going to throw again. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Ballore leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Now Taylor to throw. It's caught. Shepard. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace, Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Taylor looking to throw on second down. And that is incomplete. They were looking that time to get it to Justin Hardy. Third down here.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins have taken the lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now a first down throw. Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Second and 10, Stafford again.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. Powering his way forward. A good pickup there at 22.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upset me.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Hey, Sean Robinson getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Here's Taylor. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on second down, Taylor escaping the pressure right. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Now Taylor on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Taylor. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start at venerable Soldier Field. New England making the trip out to visit Chicago. And it's the Patriots leading that one in the second quarter. Julian Edelman, a touchdown reception. From there, it's off to Jacksonville to see what's going on with the Jags. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. Blake Bortles has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Andrew Luck has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. In our game, it's Tyrod Taylor who's been on the offensive in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now Abdullah, the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he stopped immediately there. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 40 to about the 38.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
Stafford on third down. He rifles one that's intercepted. The rookie Minka Fitzpatrick with a pick. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up a...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Julio Jones. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And thanks to the interception, the Dolphins offense cashes in with 6.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins.
Touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they took the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
What about Chase?
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because it's a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Throwing on third down. Stafford. And he locates Luke Wilson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it here with Blow. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The coverage that time excellent by Nevin Lawson.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On second down, Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Nope. Gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. To throw on 3rd down. Stafford. It's caught. Jones. He's at the 40. The 20. 10. Touchdown. Detroit. T.J. Jones.
Damn it. Oh my God.
Touchdown on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in the situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff. 2 touchdowns already. That's the bottom line when you throw the ball to a guy.
Absolutely. Not over 100 yards right now, but he does have the 2 touchdown catches. And Taylor's throw there should have been intercepted, but it's incomplete. Taylor going to give now to Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. And this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Taylor hit. He lost the football. And the Lions have recovered. A little careless with the football. And he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did. And when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember. Traffic, turbulence, people around you. 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle by Robert Quinn. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. They go back to Riddick. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, This intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. Oh, no, he lost the football. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating.
That's caught inside the 20. Oh, the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Following the penalty, it's goal. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They run. It's Gore. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll throw with Taylor. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Justin Hardy, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Lions. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. Pass incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there, because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
On 1st down, Stafford here. Screen pass to Blunt. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So they convert on third with a gain of 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And a completion to Wilson. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on first down. This will be caught just inside the 10. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's the battering ram blow. And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the first down either. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll try and pick up the first with Gore. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at the 18. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. I would imagine you want to win every game big, but if you're a quarterback in the NFL, this is the spot that you love.
You've been dreaming of it since you were a kid, playing in the backyard or the front yard, wherever, where you went through those imaginary situations. Now it's real, though. What practice have you put in since the OTAs and mini camps, preseason camp, sequence of plays, get the ball to the outside, get it out of bounds, save your timeouts, move the ball downfield to get your team in position to win the game.
And a field goal, of course, no good. They need a score. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going on the field, but okay. He's got a man complete. They give him a gain of 37. First down now, but that clock rolling. He's back to throw. Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Out to the flat for Redding. Call it a pickup of 7. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And, boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back. Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Miami, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.